Hey guys, welcome to the View Cryptos channel. This tweet from Ripple was from 3rd of March, so they're tweeting Ripple is piloting a private version of the open source public XRPL that allows central banks to create and manage a digital currency, enabling global interoperability. Get involved today. And this is actually the article. Ripple pilots a private ledger for central banks launching CBDCs. Ripple is piloting a private version of the public open source XRP ledger that provides central banks a secure, controlled, and flexible solution for the issuance and management of digital currencies. And when this tweet came out, many people were like, oh, okay, so what is going to happen with my XRP? What is going to happen with the XRP that is on the public ledger? Are they going to be connected, the public and the private ledger, and so on and so on? And you can read the article, and actually we're going to get into more details with this article, but before that, let's just let the Ripple employees actually tell us if XRP on the public ledger and XRP on the private ledger are one and the same. Because many people, after reading the article, they couldn't understand actually if the price on the public and on the private ledger of the XRP is going to be the same, so don't worry about it. It is the same XRP on the two ledgers. So let's actually check what Ripple employees are saying about it. This is from Monica Long. Tokenization has always been a key feature of the XRPL, with over 5,400 plus issued tokens since inception. CBDCs will live on new private ledgers that run parallel to the XRPL, using XRP as a bridge to interoperate with other currencies. No more walled gardens. And she is actually retweeting this tweet here from Ripple X. Leveraging the same blockchain technology that powers the XRPL, low cost, high transactions per second, energy efficiency, and reliability. The CBDC private ledger is built for payments. The Ripple X team is just getting started. So this is one of the many tweets from Ripple employees from 3rd of March, and this is from David Schwartz. The XRPL has been running smoothly for 8+ years with billions of dollars at stake. The CBDC private ledger ensures transaction privacy and security, and security controls combined with the reliability and payments proficiency of the XRPL, the best of both worlds. Also, many different tweets from Matt Hamilton, who is actually answering different questions. Would you like to comment what this means for XRP holders? It is one step closer on the road of building the Internet of Value. Again from Matt Hamilton, XRP is XRP, doesn't matter which ledger it is on. Would make no sense it being two different values. Again from Matt Hamilton, I guess there would be nothing stopping them from doing so. Okay, let's first see the question actually. Okay, a person is saying, thanks. Does this mean XRPL will act like a hub where the exchanges of the CBDCs will happen? Yes, that is the idea. Two private networks could send value from one to the other via the main public XRP ledger. Would private networks be able to create bilateral agreements with each other using gateways to issue currencies on each other's implementations without using the public XRPO for cross-currency settlement? And Matt Hamilton says, I guess there would be nothing stopping them from doing so, but that would be additional work and burden to maintain, just as with the internet. Company A doesn't usually directly connect to Company B via bilateral agreement. They use a common transit network. Again from Matt Hamilton. Let's see the whole thread. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the public ledger built for payments? Wasn't that the entire mission you've been chirping about for years? And Matt Hamilton is saying the public ledger is built for payments, and it was built nearly a decade ago, long before banks knew how they would use blockchains. This gives the best of both worlds, a private blockchain for intrabank, but linked to a public one for interbank. Okay, this is important to note. Mr. Toe, is private XRPL a sandbox? Or does private usage of XRPL affect XRPL in entirety in terms of publicly known volume or publicly traded XRP? It doesn't affect the known volume. Every single custodial exchange, Bitstamp, Binance, Kraken, Gemini, Coinbase, etc., is a private ledger, just run on closed source software. This is the same, but open source and decentralized within that entity. Again from Matt Hamilton. Okay, yeah, we already actually checked this one. So these are the most important tweets from Ripple employees here that are actually pointing to the fact that this private ledger that Ripple created for central banks is actually going to help XRP grow. So this is the main thing here. Let's continue with the blog article here from Ripple Insights. With over 80% of central banks actively exploring some form of sovereign-backed cryptocurrency, new central bank digital currencies are bound to emerge. Each new CBDC will have unique goals driven by the specific market challenges and opportunities of its country, unavoidably leading to different technologies and implementations, leaving the world with an array of CBDC solutions. And let's follow the link actually here. The interesting thing in the blog article is that there are different links that are leading to different interesting other articles. So this is from Jonas Gross. CBDC pioneers. Which countries are currently testing a retail central bank digital currency? And here you can see retail CBDC projects in practice. Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, Marshall Islands, China, Sweden, and Bahamas. I will leave a link in the description so you can check this out. Sweden e-krona, the Bahamas cent dollar, Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, DXCD, Marshall Islands, summary of current retail CBDC initiatives, and etc. CBDC challenges. Distributed ledger technology will be the basis for most CBDCs, just as it is for today's cryptocurrencies. While central banks can tap into existing blockchains to get CBDCs up and running quickly, most ledgers are not built for payments and cannot handle the volume of transactions that a successful retail CBDC will require. Most blockchains are public ledgers, visible to all and updated by a broad network of validators. A central bank requires more transaction privacy and control over its currency than a public ledger can offer. So we'll most likely opt to create a CBDC on a private ledger that can also operate at the required scale. Additionally, interoperability, the ability for a private ledger to connect with today's existing global financial infrastructure, as well as other CBDCs and other digital currencies, will be critical. In fact, in its 2021-2022 innovation program, the Bank for International Settlements identified interoperability for cross-border payments as a major priority for CBDCs. Let's follow the links here. Interoperability. Interoperability will determine CBDC winners and losers. This is also article from Ripple Insights. Bridging the gaps between a range of solutions, crossing borders for global success, creating the Internet of Value. Okay, and the other link is leading us to this page here. BIS Innovation Hub Work Program 2021-2022. We don't have enough time for all to look at all the links, so I will leave them in the description so you can check them out. Let's continue with the article. The CBDC private ledger. The CBDC private ledger is based on the same blockchain technology that powers the XRP ledger, which means that the CBDC private ledger is built for payments. This also means the CBDC private ledger is designed for issuing currencies, with over 5,400 currencies issued on the XRPL over the past 8 years, including its native digital asset XRP, which can be leveraged as a neutral bridge asset for frictionless value movement between CBDCs and other currencies. Moving money on the CBDC private ledger will be cost-effective, reliable, and close to instantaneous. Transactions can also happen at volumes required by central banks. The CBDC private ledger will handle tens of thousands of transactions per second, initially with the potential to scale to hundreds of thousands TPSs over time. Transactions on the CBDC private ledger are verified by the same consensus protocol used by the XRP ledger, which is far less energy intensive and therefore less expensive and 61,000 times more efficient than public blockchains that leverage proof of work. In addition to leveraging the XRP ledger technology, the CBDC private ledger is also supported by ripplenet technologies and the interledger suite of protocols to enable ultra-high throughput use cases such as micropayments. The CBDC private ledger meets even the highest of security standards for central banks, with each having complete sovereignty and ability to customize based on their own unique privacy and policy requirements. The core technology behind this new CBDC private ledger has been running for more than 8 years without incident and with billions of dollars of value transacted every day. And in my recent videos, when I talked about the XRP ledger and also about the Stellar Network, I also told you that this is very important for central banks, that the XRP ledger is running for more than 8 years now, and it was never hacked, and it is evident that it is secure, it is fast, it is cheap to use, and this is very, very important, of course, for the central banks. This is creating trust, and it's very important. Time to define the future of money. Ripple has a proven track record of successfully connecting disparate payment systems, championing blockchain's utility to solve for global payments and is trusted by hundreds of financial institutions around the world. We are currently engaged with central banks around the world to better understand their goals and assess how the CBDC private ledger can help achieve them. We believe this solution will overcome the major challenges around creating and managing a sovereign digital currency, while amplifying the value and benefits for central banks, their partners, and above all, the millions of people who will use it. And we're just getting started. We are also working on a fresh approach where central banks will be able to join a network of CBDC ledgers that enables full settlement interoperability, while allowing each member to retain their monetary and technological independence. So this is very important, monetary and technological independence. We believe this will be a game changer for central banks and are excited to release more details on how it works very soon. In my opinion, the central banks are not only going to use the XRP, the private XRP ledger solution, but they are also going to use, I have taught this many times in my recent videos, they are going to choose few different public blockchains, and maybe they are going to also have some private versions of these blockchains for interbank settlements and so on. So in my opinion, one of the other blockchains that they are going to use is the Stellar Network. Of course, we're going to see about that this year. I think that this year we are going to hear more announcements. We already actually heard, we know about the announcement from the Ukrainian government that they are working with the Stellar Development Foundation in order for them to help them with their project, their CBDC project. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this develops in the future. And yeah, very, very interesting things are about to happen this year, and we're already actually seeing very interesting things happening. So in my opinion, we are very close to see central banks issuing CBDCs on the XRP ledger in production and also on the Stellar Network. And I want to show you this. This is from a video I made last year. It is about Interledger protocol, and I want to show you just one part of this video about Interledger and the total addressable market size of Interledger. So let's see.
I'll throw it out to the audience. What is Interledger's total addressable market size? All the money. Nobody wanted to feed it. Yeah, it's all the money, because what we're really talking about with this idea of the Internet of Value is creating a single global payment network that connects literally everyone and processes maybe not 100%, but 90+% of all the money. That's what we're talking about.
And also want to show you this from a recent video of mine from last year about Stellar. It was from actually from a conference organized by the IMF about cross-border payments.
On Stellar itself, you have, tokenization allows you to trade all sorts of tokens. It can be CBDCs. Central banks can issue CBDCs on your platform, if I understand correctly. Central banks can issue CBDCs on your platform. Central banks can issue CBDCs on your platform. How do you actually scale it up? And how do you ensure that, if others For example, MasterCard has launched a platform, as I understand it, for central banks to test their CBDCs on their platform. Now, for a central bank out there, how do they decide? If I test on Stellar Network, would that work also on the MasterCard network? So these are the issues from a practical point of view would be important for the policymakers to understand. Maybe we can start from Dinell, then maybe swim back to Rory as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dong. This is such a great question, and it's one of the things that actually hits back to the question that you asked about Libra. I think that the focus that we have on open, decentralized, permissionless networks, which is what Stellar is, and which is what we focus on building, and we try to actually integrate with the incumbents, like with respect to MasterCard, for example. We have to make it really simple, especially when it's a new technology and you're actually trying to integrate with these different stacks that exist out there. You have to make the on-ramp to the network very simple. And that's where the interoperability and the standards come into play. And from just all of my years of focusing on standards, and this is what we did exceptionally well at the very beginning of the web, and when we focused on the internet technology, there was a massive focus on standards and trying to build this ecosystem that anyone could join if they chose to. And all they needed was to understand like how to get onto the internet, and then they could build their own website, or they could build other engagements and opportunities with end users. That's what we're trying to do here in what we call the internet for payments. So it's the same idea. An open permissionless network is important. And making sure that network is easy to interoperate with, which is what we try to do and strive to do here at SDF and on Stellar, but lots of entities out there are trying to do the same thing.
Okay, so basically I think it is absolutely evident that central banks are also looking at the Stellar network, and that's why I think that this is really great evidence of the participation of Stellar's CEO on this IMF conference about cross-border payments from the end of last year. Yeah, I think the Stellar network is one of the best options for central banks, and of course this year we're going to see what happens. And I want to finish the video by talking a little bit about my recent price predictions that I made, and I want to talk about actually the price prediction for XLM from my last video. I gave a price prediction of $10 per XLM. I think that this is absolutely possible to happen this year, until the end of this year. And of course, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So I see that many people are very skeptical, and they really don't think that it is possible for XLM to reach price over $1 or over $2 and so on. At least, let's say, not this year, or some people think that this is impossible to happen ever. And I totally respect your opinions. I will be happy to read more of your opinions and more of your argumentation about this. Do you think actually, if you think XLM can reach higher prices, or if you think XLM and XRP can't reach higher prices, higher than $1, $2 and so on. But I want to give you my argumentation. So we are seeing that there is a lot of institutional interest in cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. We are seeing, it is absolutely evident that central banks are really interested in the XRP ledger and in the Stellar network. And we are actually already seeing the real facts. So real things are happening. It is not just only speculation. So it is we're seeing pilot projects, and in my opinion, it is a matter of time to see something really happening in production. So central banks starting issuing CBDCs on the XRP ledger and on the Stellar network for real, not only for testing. So this is really huge, and I think that the people who are going to win in this situation are the people who at the moment have open mind, the people who have rich imagination and can think of different scenarios for the future. Basically, those people are going to be the winners, in my opinion. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe and share. Be safe and see you next time.